Hi all, this is Live and Thrive, and I'm here with Tony. Today we are talking about wisdom. So, Tony, how do you see wisdom?
Hi, folks. Always good to be here. I'll start by saying that a smart person knows what to say, but a wise person knows whether or not to say it. I'm sure that gives you a clue as to what makes a wise person. But let's dig deeper. Wisdom is basically the ability to do the right thing at the right time for the right reason. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But if you think back, there are many times you will have felt very foolish when you did certain things. They just didn't turn out right at the end of the day. So for you to be wise, you need to be able to think using knowledge, experience, understanding, and insight. You have to be able to see what causes things, what is the connection between things. You need to see more than what's on the surface. Asking questions like, why is this happening? Viewing circumstances and events sort of like from a distance, even when you're involved, so that you have a grand picture of things. Wisdom is also about recognizing patterns. You see, oh, this is the way this thing is likely to trend. So clearly you might mistake wisdom for knowledge at times, which was why I started with that quote about smart people knowing what to say. But it's deeper than just knowledge. It takes discernment, and you have to have the right perspective to things as they happen. So we should not mistake intelligence or experience or even virtue or being good as being the same thing as wisdom, because it's a lot deeper than that. So wisdom overall shows when you do things that appear right most of the time. So that, in a nutshell, is what wisdom is all about.
I see. So, wisdom is beyond knowledge and doing the right things. It's more than that. It's doing the right things at the right time, also for the right reasons. So, who fits into this mold? How can I say this person is a wise person?
Technically, we are all learners. So what we can say is that some people are wiser than others. That means they do more wise things than the average person. So some of the things you note about such people is that they are usually open-minded. They don't start with their assumptions and follow through with just their assumptions. They're always open to new ideas. They are learning always, all the time, reflecting on what their experiences are and trying to see if there's a better way of doing things. They tend to seem to have foresight. That means they can see what is likely to happen. They have hindsight. They remember what has happened in the past. And they have insight, meaning that they have a deeper understanding of whatever situation they find themselves. Oftentimes, you find these people are very reflective. They don't just jump into things. This enables them to build better discernment and understanding. They're also usually unselfish people. They tend to think about other people when they are doing things. And usually, this they achieve because they are always controlled. You don't see them jumping into action. They are cool, calm, and collected.
Wow, wow, wow. Surely a wise person doesn't go thinking, I know it all, I'm wise. They keep learning, right? They keep learning. Uh, with what we've heard, I'm sure everybody would like to be wiser. But what are the benefits of being wise from the perspective of wisdom? Not just being referred to as a wise person. It would be nice for people to say, oh, that's a wise person. But beyond that, what are the benefits of being wise?
Well, certainly in life, we strive to thrive.
Mm.
So if you pay attention to what we have said about wise people, it appears to me, and maybe you should too, understand that wise people are more likely to succeed at whatever it is they want to do than not so wise people.
Mm.
So one of the things that wise people benefit from is that they understand that there will be ups and downs, that no situation is permanent. They know there is nothing like perfection, but they have that thing I'll call the will and the skill to do the right thing. So one of the things, benefits of being wise is that they're able to balance conflicting principles. So oftentimes in life, you come to a Y intersection, you don't know whether to turn right or turn left. They tell you if you turn right, you die. If you turn left, you live, and stuff like that. A wise person is usually not confused when it gets to that point because they take in as much information as possible and process it in a more detailed way. So, like I said, if you want to thrive, you want to learn some of these basic principles of wisdom and practice them. So, another thing about being wise is that, like I said, we are always confronted. In fact, one of the things that we do in life is to make decisions. Do we go ahead? Do we stop? Yesterday I was listening to a podcast on Polaroid, how Polaroid made so much money selling films for photographs. But as digital photography started coming in, they just couldn't make that decision to move on to digital photography because they were making too much money selling films. And guess what happened to them? The company died. So I imagine if they had a wise person on their board of directors, they would have told them, look, gentlemen, there's a new wave coming. We need to ride that wave because it will have that insight and foresight that wisdom bestows on people. But they were too comfortable making all that free money from film with big margins that they could not see beyond their immediate nose, like they say. One other thing about being wise is that whatever you do tends to yield more results, better results than if you were not so wise. You see, we talk about things like negotiating, critical thinking, and all those things. All of these things are rolled into that collective thing called wisdom, emotional intelligence. So if you look at a lot of our other videos, you learn some of these other skills, but they are all subservient to wisdom. And on a final note, if you are wise, you are likely to achieve better results overall.
Wow. Who wouldn't want to be successful? Who would not want to have results? Who wouldn't like to thrive? I definitely would like to thrive. Considering all these benefits, I'd like to be wiser. So, how do I become wiser?
That sounds like a trick question. But let's put it this way. I don't think wisdom is restricted to any group of people. You don't need to have a high IQ or be the most beautiful or the most athletic to become a wise person. We're all born differently, no doubt, and we have different propensities, but we can learn to become wiser. Now, how can this happen? It can happen simply because wisdom can be cultivated. You know, cultivation, just like you plant a seed and it grows, the same way you can treat wisdom. One of the ways you start is to try new things all the time. Don't keep doing things the same way every day because your perspective will be narrowed. If you want a wider perspective, it means you try things, try new things, and even try old things in new ways. I remember those days that jeans, we started wearing jeans. all jeans from different manufacturers look the same. But now, even if you go to one of the oldest jeans companies, in that store, you will see maybe like 300 different designs. And next season, they'll tell you those designs are even old. That's to show you that world is changing. So you need to keep changing for you to build that thing called wisdom. You also need to always engage people, especially those that hold a different opinion from you. Engaging them means you are establishing relationships with them. You are talking to them on a regular basis. They are feeding you with new knowledge based on their own different ideas. Another way of learning to be wise is, of course, experiencing life itself. You cannot learn to swim by reading it in a book. You may know all it takes to swim, know how to hold your hand, how to hold your leg. Not until you have jumped inside the water would you know how to swim. So wisdom also requires that jumping in the water approach. You must be part of it. And always question your assumptions. If, for example, you find somebody holding a key and a door that was locked is unlocked, and you automatically assume he must be the one that unlocked it. It's a wise person will try to know more before coming to any kind of judgment in that situation. Is that the only key to that door? Is it the same key to the door? And all that. When did the person get there? And you can use all this extra information to become a wiser person. Another thing to do is to avoid what I call black and white thinking. It's either left or right. It's either black or white. There are times it's gray. It could even be very dark gray or very light gray. So always allow that openness in your mind. That way it's easier to have better understanding of situations that one is confronted with. We live in a world that has a lot of uncertainty and complexity, too many things playing together. You're not sure of what's going to happen tomorrow. And it is one of those things that helps you when you accept that this is reality. It makes it easier for you to assimilate new knowledge because you know you don't know enough. Another way you can get wiser is to start considering other people's point of view. You must consider not just your own, even when you want to thrive, other people have to play a role in your thriving. Remember, we talked about this in negotiating, going for the win-win. So some of these things are the things that help you become a wiser person. And most importantly, learn to listen more than you speak. There is actually a famous anonymous quote that says, "Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens." So I enjoin you to listen more, then maybe you get wiser.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing words of wisdom today. Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. Amazing. See, I've taken home a lot today. So I'll just mention my take-home bullets. One, yesterday's excellence is today's mediocrity. If you think you know so much, wisdom of yesterday may be today's foolishness. So we keep learning. So wise people keep learning. Wise people don't make assumptions. Wisdom considers not only themselves, but others. Wise people consider not only themselves, but others. Wisdom thinks long term, not short term. In the short term, it may appear really nice, you are knowledgeable, but what happens in the long term? Wisdom listens more than speak. Wisdom hears more than is spoken. Amazing words of wisdom. You need to watch this video again and then watch out for other Live and Thrive videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, comment, and share. I've had an awesome time today. I hope you have too. See you next time.